Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. And Michael, last week, or the episode we put out, got 100 listens on all platforms.
Stacking it up. Look at us, man.
It got about 75 on YouTube and about 25 on Spotify.
Much love to the people out there listening.
So yeah, all the people out there. I think when we started this, we wouldn't have known that we'd have that many.
Yeah.
So even if you're just tuning in for a bit or tuning in to hear what we have to say about your team, we appreciate all of you
definitely
listening, and yeah, hopefully we'll keep providing the good content. But one thing I did notice, to that episode last week and one of our other episodes, our two highest viewed episodes, the common theme, the two Arsenal losses.
to Arsenal.
So we know what you're doing, people. We know you want to come here when Arsenal lose. But it is what it is. The game's the game. Luckily, that's only happened twice this season.
We still appreciate you nonetheless.
Exactly. And before we get into the football, UFC card this weekend, just gone. Me and Michael spoke about it briefly off air.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards had the chance to retain his title against Colby Covington.
Quite a lot of an English champ.
Yeah, Leon got it done again. Very professional performance. And yeah, I was going to ask you, obviously, Colby said some stuff about Leon's father, who passed away in the press conference, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, is that just
over the line?
Yeah, or is there no line in the fight game?
I actually...
Well, once you sign the contract and you agree to fight, is anything on the table?
I actually think that there is no line in the fight game. I'm not here to say that like I'm encouraging what Kobe said, and I encourage other fighters to do what Kobe's doing, X, Y, and Z. But I do think that part of the job is selling fights, and fighters will do anything to sell fights. And I can't sit here and like vilify Kobe and be like, never, Conor McGregor did a lot of the same stuff, crossed a lot of lines. A lot of fighters have crossed a lot of lines when it comes to selling fights. And I think the excuse Kobe will give is he's in character. He's, it's not really him or not really his own personal opinion. It's kind of like his job and what's beneficial for his job. And the only reason I also say I don't think there's a line is because if you're seriously personally offended by it, go out there in the fight and show people that you want to, that this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's 50-50 because there's certain fighters who put it out there that they are caricatures of something or somebody, or they like to talk a little bit X, Y, Z. And there's certain fighters, even Khabib to a certain extent, it's just like, I'm not here for the selling of, I'm here for the actual fight game. I'm here to... So I think you can maybe pick and choose who you want to sell fights with. But there was always a needle between Kobe and Edwards, Leon, before the fight.
Because Leon didn't think he was worthy of it. Obviously having been out the game for so long. But I think I agree with you. I think once you sign the contract, obviously some things are going to come across, and people might disagree.
Yeah.
But this is coming from two guys who are big Leon Edwards fans. How glad he won the fight, wanted him to win the
100.
fight. But I do think that once you sign the contract, it is just kind of like, well, now we're going to sell the fight. As long as it doesn't carry on after the fight.
Exactly. Exactly. Or things that, like Conor, remember what Conor smashed up the bus and
everything. Yeah.
He's done mad stuff. He's done a lot of mad stuff.
Conor definitely toyed with the line. But that's why people want to watch it, and that's why people want to pay to watch the
and
fights.
It does add needle. As you were saying, as I was saying, it's like, you're like, oh, I need to see this now.
And Leon even said in his post-match press conference, he was like, he went back to his locker room after that and was in tears, and kind of spoke to the people around him and just kind of used it as motivation. Which is why, again, the commentators were so impressed with his like calculated level of performance.
It takes a lot,
So yeah, shout out Leon Edwards. And the one other fight that was actually quite good, which is worth watching, was Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Versus
Wonderboy.
Yeah.
I've never seen Shavkat fight before.
I've seen like highlights, but I've never seen a full fight from him.
He's gonna be the next champ.
Serious.
I've seen the way he submitted Wonderboy. I mean, he dominated the whole fight, and Wonderboy like has quite a few inches on him.
Yeah.
He's definitely the taller guy. And looks like
Wonderboy's got pedigree.
Yeah. And Shavkat just kind of dealt with him, and at no point did it look like Rakhmonov was gonna be in trouble. And then the way he submits him, just mechanical, just gets on his back, and then he's just done.
I was watching the things I always do, the vlogs that they do right before the fight week, and they were saying about this fighter Rakhmonov that he has like undefeated and like 100% what do you call it, finish rates.
Yeah,
like
submission rate.
either by a knockout or submission.
Which
it's like
is crazy.
none of them go to this. And he had like an ankle injury, or he broke his ankle or fractured his ankle before the fight even happened.
I think he's got like the second longest active win streak in the UFC or something.
These guys who come from Dagestan and far or anywhere, and it's like it's bigger than just me and myself. I'm fighting for my nation, my republic. It's long. It's so long.
That's exactly what he said. Because I was watching it. I said to my brother when it was on. You know the promos that they do before each fight.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
So the promos, Dana White's got that machine on lock, right? Because I don't know, like Emmett Mitchell in the first fight, I didn't know either of them. Didn't know Pantoja or Royval, but that 1 minute promo, I'm locked in
from
after
the depths
that.
of Brazil.
I'm like, I need to, yeah, the training images, everything. And they had that for Shavkat, and obviously he's from Kazakhstan. And I think the last line on the promo from him was, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my country.
Yeah, quite literally. All of these guys.
Like, I'm going to bring the belt to Kazakhstan.
The Brazilians, the Kazakhstanis, the Dagestanis, all of these guys where it's beyond just my own personal image. And this is for like, God of my country.
Everyone in the country.
Oh, looks fighting them is so long.
Yeah.
It's so long.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out them. It was another good card. I think the main event for me personally
kind of let you down a little bit,
because the thing is, I knew I had to be up for the Arsenal game the next day as well. so I was contemplating it, but I was like, I need to see Leon fight. And then the fight was just a bit boring. But
it's tough when I like it when there's like a lot of first round knockouts or submissions, and then you go into the main event and it's like it's already ahead of schedule.
Main event didn't start till 5:30.
It's crazy.
And I got gassed because in the first fight, Emmett knocked him out first round.
And you think,
I was like, just cool.
Yeah.
But then I think Paddy went 5 rounds, Shavkat went 3 rounds, Pantoja went 5 rounds, and then it was just, and then obviously Edwards went 5 rounds as well.
Well, the good thing about Edwards is that if he does get this dream fight back in London, or the stacked card back in London, it's going to be our times. Whether you're there in the stadium or not, main card was going to start at 9 o'clock.
Who do you reckon he fights though? Comes up.
No, because he's only he's done a title defense versus Kamaru and a title defense versus Colby now, which are 2 very good competitors. Maybe Chimaev, any of these guys who could be willing to either drop weight, step into the ring. Yeah, it's going to be a big guy for sure. Anyway, you got the belt, and everybody wants the belt. I think I'll be interested to see how long Leon Edwards' reign lasts. As we're both Edwards fans, but at the top, and Dana's just going to give him dogs from here on out. Like it's just going to be,
like you say, guys are going to come in fighting for their country, fighting for everything.
And the worst thing is, the more you beat those guys, the more you start fighting for yourself. Like somebody like Islam Makhachev, it's always going to be forgotten in his country. But someone for Leon Edwards, the more he becomes a superstar, and TNT are like the English champ.
You'll naturally lose some of the desire.
Conor was meant to be fighting this year. It's like
I don't think Conor's going to come back.
I don't think Conor's going to. I think I was telling somebody the other day, I think Conor loves the game just as much as when he was champ and before he even became champ. But I just don't think he has that dog in him anymore. It's impossible. Like there's Pantoja, Rakhmakov, these guys who haven't got the belt or have just got the belt are still fighting with that, like, this is everything to me. Conor's already seen the top of the mountain. He knows what that looks like. Unless you've seen the top, it's super tough to...
And that's where I agree. I think at some point it's only natural that Leon Edwards might lose some desire. And that's where you look at someone like Khabib, and Dana put him in there with everyone who could possibly beat him and could be won all of the fights, because he was just, like you say, he was just fighting for something to him,
and that's why these guys are like, oh, I'm done now. Like that passion, that energy, he's not gonna fight till he loses.
It's not about Dana gonna pay me this, Dana's gonna do this to get me back in the ring.
And that's also why they won't talk shit on press conferences. Khabib will never come out and say something about your mom or your brother, your religion or whatever. It's just
because everything Conor said to him, Khabib was, I'll deal with this.
Exactly.
I'll deal with this.
Well, and outside the cage.
But that was Dylan. But even in that fight, I still that clip of him like
Conor saying
Conor. and then the ref and Connor's tapping, and Khabib's just squeezing harder, and Connor's tapping, and the ref has to actually break the lock. Oh yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. But
hopefully there's one more card in it before the end of the year, like a decent card. But
yeah. Well, yeah, I think UFC 297, the Strickland one's in January.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they're building something big for UFC 300. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
Okay,
Dana might put like 4 championship fights.
We'll wait on Dana. We'll see what Dana has cooking for 2024.
That's I can always trust Dana, man. I know he's gonna deliver
to give the people what they want.
Exactly. But yeah, we will move it on. We know everyone wants to hear about the football this weekend, and like we sometimes do, if there's a big result, if there's a result that is kind of shocking or a team that deserves their praise, we do start with that instead of going in chronological order. And Man United went to Anfield. Mm-hmm. Nobody gave them a chance. Nobody gave them a prayer.
Yeah.
And they went there without their captain, Bruno Fernandes, and they got a point. They got a point. And just on the game, before we go into and dissect it, I saw Bat say on the chat, Matt said, I want my 90 minutes back.
Yeah.
And then Bat was like, you'll never see a North London derby like this.
I agreed on both.
And it made me think, and I was like, yeah, you know what, let me look into this. I looked at North London derby results.
When's the last 0-0?
The last 0-0 was, I've got it here, was February 2009.
Wow.
That was at White Hart Lane. The last 0-0 at Arsenal, 1998.
That's crazy. But at the same time,
those are the only two.
And this is not even the first 0-0 or even 1-1 that we would have seen in the last 5, 6, 7 years between Man United and Liverpool.
Before that recent run of Liverpool just destroying Man United, the games used to be so boring. Like when Oli, when Ranjao, Mourinho, there were 0-0s, 1-1s. They were really boring games. But yeah, you'll never see the North London derby.
Do you know what? It's true, and I think the media and Sky Sports and everybody has done well to. There is a rivalry between Liverpool and United, the cities, the teams, for sure. You can't deny that. But I don't know if there's as much like needle as the North London derby or some of the other derbies we have around. It's like as much as the two teams don't like each other, I don't know if they hate each other.
I think in the Manchester United Liverpool game, I think both teams and both fans are maybe more concerned with not losing
than winning the game.
Whereas in the North London derby,
it's
both teams they want to win the game. So even if they lose the game at that cost, they want to win the game.
But even like recently, last couple of years or so, it's like the games themselves, as much as you know, some of the results have been boring or whatever, but there's not been enough, in my opinion, like this is a derby needle. Tackles going in, passion, people flying everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like either we're just gonna not lose, we're just not gonna lose, or you know, last year United capitulated. This year there just wasn't every team like.
The first sort of like flare up came at like 83 minutes when Luke Shaw made the challenge.
Like, at least for most North London derbies, there is going to be a tackle in the first 20 minutes. That is going to be like one set of fans is going to be like, you should be off for this, or the other set of fans is going to be like, you know, get stuck in. And then from there, the game boils off, and there's red cards, and there's penalties, and there's all of the above.
I think there was something about that game as well, just a standalone game, because even Gary Neville was saying on commentary that he's never heard Anfield that quiet in a Liverpool Man United game, and I think part of that was because the Liverpool fans expected.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
as we did, to demolish.
I was actually going to ask you this: do you believe in I don't know if it's a narrative, but like the overconfidence that the fans and maybe players might have had to this game, of they just expected to win by a couple of goals? Everybody did. We did.
Yeah. I predicted 6-0.
Do you think that actually seeps into players and their mentality?
Yeah.
And like, because Liverpool that first half, man, like the sloppy passes, like the opportunities that they had to get shots off on goal or kill the game, open up the scoring. They just never took them, nothing materialized. And it's like, I'm waiting for somebody to do it, and it feels like somebody's waiting for somebody else to do it.
It's funny, right? Because I think the Liverpool fans definitely thought that was just going to be a mauling, right? They were talking about getting Ten Hag sacked and everything that could possibly come. They were saying 5-0 if it gets to 5 or 1-8, and I think so. They had that complacency, and I think when after the first 15, 20 minutes when they haven't scored, I think then maybe the atmosphere started to drop a little bit and it wasn't as great. And I think that did seep into the players a bit. I think the players and obviously they'll never admit this and they'll never say that, but I think the players kind of thought that they wouldn't need to be at their best to win the game.
Yeah. And I also want to clarify, like, I don't even think Liverpool had a slow start. I think they came out.
They started well.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. I think if they'd scored in the first 10 minutes,
it would have been a long one.
I think they would have won 6-0.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, they came out with the intent to score. They had a corner with like the first 30 seconds of the match or whatever it was. And I thought, oh man, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
But as the 20 minutes came up in the first half, I was like, oh, okay. We got through at least the first 20. And then when it got to half time, I was like, all right.
Just not really creating.
Yeah.
And it was poor from Liverpool. The attacking, they just seemed to like run out of ideas. It just became like Trent crossing, inshallah.
Yeah.
And a bit like
I was a bit surprised that it didn't feel like a home game for Liverpool. And beyond just the crowd being silent, it just didn't feel like Liverpool were playing as if they were the home team.
Yeah. And normally at Anfield, when the game is like that and Liverpool are pushing for an equaliser or a winner, they keep coming and coming. And I remember last year when we went there, and it went even after it went to 2-2 in like the 88th minute, they came again and again and again.
And
that just didn't seem to happen on the weekend.
It's I'm kind of shocked because I agree with you. Like, you would have thought Liverpool versus Man United, somebody would want to be the hero. Somebody would want to have their name up in lights.
Trent almost scored a great goal.
Yeah, it would have been a great goal. Front page news. But like that was probably the closest chance, apart from some of the headers. But yeah, I thought on either side, be it new, like there's so many players in both teams who, for whatever reason, have more of enough of a reason to be the hero. Could be Salah getting his 151th goal, top 10 confirmed Premier League goal scorers of all time. Could have been Højlund first goal. Could have been Nunes,
breaking the duck,
silencing the haters. McTominay captain goal, all of this kind of stuff. Like I thought. There would have been just more of a like shots on targets, or I'm gonna do that long bursting run to try and get in the end of this because I could score the goal.
Yeah,
it seemed as if both teams was like not happy for a draw. United were definitely happy for a draw, and Liverpool definitely were pushing for a win, but it still felt as if no one was giving that extra nth percent in a derby that it takes to win in these fine margins.
And I think for like Salah didn't have a great performance, but he's been amazing all season with the goals he scored and the points he's won for Liverpool. So then you look at it and you're like, at some point, Diaz and Nunes need to help him out.
Yeah, someone
needs to step up.
And Diaz tried. It's not like he didn't try. I thought he tried hard, just never really.
Yeah, but he was just getting.
It never came off.
Yeah, it was just the ball was being taken off him too easily.
Yeah.
And Nunes had a poor game.
Yeah.
And I think Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Might need a couple minutes here because we did gas him up and he was playing well, but last couple of weeks he's kind of fallen away and he got hooked after 60 minutes.
Yeah,
they were calling him the Hungarian Steven Gerrard, wearing number 8 on his back. He's got a long way to go before he's there. But yeah, man, his passing was off. He kept playing it out of play, and I mean the whole Liverpool team were doing that. But I was expecting a bit more from him. We said before the Man City game that was a game where we were like, yeah, Szoboszlai can kind of like make a name for himself here and be like, yeah, I am that guy. And especially at Anfield, man, against Man United.
I agree with you. I thought he was just kind of like underwhelming a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was expecting a little bit more, and the shots from distance don't help. It just seems like you run out of ideas when you're taking that 45, 35 yard shot when, you know, everybody else is either an easy pass or looking for the ball, and it's like, I'm just going to blaze this over the bar. I don't know how much of it is maybe on him. I don't know how many times Endo, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch have started together in midfield. But at the same time, really, that shouldn't matter versus United away from home.
Yeah, and like, United's midfield.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You should have the guile and the energy and the ability to create something. And even then, for Liverpool, like, there wasn't enough like clear-cut goal scoring. Salah's through on goal, or Nunes is through on goal.
Yeah.
There wasn't even any of those moments where it's like, all right, Szoboszlai did his thing. He created the space. He made the final pass. He did something to get somebody through on goal. And I'm not going to be overcritical of him because, you know, it's still his first season. He had a good couple initial months. He's shown you that he can score goals of you know,
I think he's a good player, but he didn't. perform to the level that I thought
you would thought he
might
would
have,
get to.
especially in a game like that.
And the midfield is for Maino.
yeah.
When I saw that midfield of Maino, Amrabat, and McTominay,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be breakfast for Liverpool, man. I thought,
I thought it was going to be, but one last thing on Liverpool, the Virgil van Dijk interview.
Yeah.
Roy Keane obviously didn't like it. What did you think of it?
I think that is now that's where like the derbiness comes in, and the media can run with that, and that's the marketing that you can use to spread the needle for the next game and all this kind of stuff. Because I agree that Man United were happy with a point, and I agree that maybe Liverpool were unhappy with a point, but I don't really have anything to say about anybody. Van Dijk has every right to say that. He's literally just come off the pitch of a frustrating draw.
Yeah.
And like, he's seeing how happy the other team is. He knows how he feels personally. In his mind, he's sort of calling it as he sees it. Roy, as an ex-United legend, ex-hater of current hater of Liverpool, also has every right to be like, you should show us some respect. One title in 30 years type of thing. But this is what I'm saying about the rivalry. It just comes down, it's great marketing, and you get to the product and you're like,
Yeah. It doesn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
But I love when Roy just goes, put your medals on the table.
Yeah,
because
and that's why
you can't really chat to Roy,
and that's why you should win medals, and that's why you should win medals as a Premier League player or as any player in football. Because at the end of the day, when people are asking you for your opinions and what's going on, they're gonna ask you to put your medals on the table, to back it up.
Yeah, because Roy said Liverpool have won one league title in 30 years, but what he was really trying to say was, Van Dijk, you've won one league title.
Yeah, don't come chat to
But it's funny, right? Roy Keane loves to shit on Man United, but when someone else does it, he's like,
how dare you?
Yeah, about Man United. But no, I saw it from Van Dijk's obviously upset. He's disappointed in the performance. The fans and probably Liverpool as well expected to win that game.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do enough. So I can see why he's a bit agitated in the game, but I think it was a bit arrogant because
he knew what United are.
And you can't really say Man United didn't go there to win. And this leads us on to Man United. And we have to give them their praise. And I think everyone thought they would get smashed. And I have to give Eric Ten Hag his credit, because Van Dijk's there saying that only one team tried to win.
There were some chances from United.
But from my recollection, Man United had the best chances in the game.
Yeah, Højlund
out of both teams, and Garnacho's one.
Yeah, that Garnacho one.
Where Trent goes
back. Yeah,
and there's more than one way to win a game, right? Like, if Arsenal were playing Brentford, like we saw in that game, Brentford just sat with the dirtiest low block, and could have scored twice on the counter, 2 goal line clearances. I wouldn't have sat there and said only one team tried to win that game. Brentford are trying to win that game, but they're trying to win that game in the best way they can, and that's what Man United did.
And I think as well, of all games, I will happily shit on Ten Hag for lack of identity, for X, Y, and Z, and what type of football they should be playing and should not be playing. But I do think that this Anfield away is not one of those games where you get onto a manager about, if a manager comes out with a clean sheet, he's set his team up.
Yeah. If Arteta gets that result this weekend,
I'm happy. Yeah.
I'll be very happy.
Yeah. I think it's not even just a point. A clean sheet at Anfield is almost bigger than the point itself.
Yeah.
It's like I want to shit on Ten Hag, and I want to shit on a lot of things that Man United do in their lack of identity and all of this. But even if Van Dijk was alluding to the fact that they didn't come out to play United football, wing play and balls in the box and all this kind of stuff, it's Anfield away.
Yeah,
they're not the better team.
Yeah,
the momentum, the form is not in their favor. Yeah. Like, all you can really ask of your team is be resolute. Don't give up an easy or cheap goal. Don't let the crowd get involved.
Yep.
And that's what they did.
Exactly. And you can't expect Man United to go to Anfield and high press.
Start playing expensive football and
it's just and that doesn't mean that they haven't come to win the game.
Yeah.
Man United went there to win the game, and they could have won the game, but they just did it in the best way they possibly could, which was sit deep, defend, and hit them on the counter.
What do you think about some of the individual performances of some of the Man United players? Obviously, we've got Kobe Mainoo. I'll start with Kobe. I actually thought Kobe he's done all right. He's done very well.
Yeah, I think he actually deserves his praise. And I've got it written here, Kobe Mainoo's composure.
Yeah.
Because for an 18-year-old to go to Anfield, and for him to take the ball in some of the areas that he took the ball,
some of the pass he played, that pass for the
pass to Garnacho was a really good pass. And when I saw, because when they went to Newcastle, we talked about this a bit last week. He was just kind of getting bypassed and didn't really have the running power to keep up. And I thought that could be the same. And obviously coupled with the poor performance from Liverpool's midfield.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's brave, man. I mean, to go to Anfield and take the ball like that, like not many. I mean, I've seen so many Arsenal midfielders go to Anfield and hide,
absolutely lose it. Yeah.
and not what even Mikel Arteta in the All or Nothing spoke about. That's the only time he's given up on the pitch and whatever.
Yeah.
Red shirts just flying past him. So for him to go and do that in a Man United shirt as well, in the atmosphere, I think his first 3 games are Goodison,
Newcastle,
Anfield.
I think it's interesting the games that Ten Hag is using him for. As we said, these are the tough away games. Goodison away, Newcastle away.
I mean, as a Man United
Anfield
player,
away.
it doesn't get tougher than Anfield.
And the trust, I don't know what you call it. I don't know if he's like just seeing how good he can actually be in some of these big moments. But I thought he did very well. I thought he showed a lot of what he could be.
Yeah.
But I still think that he's way too young to get carried away with playing week in, week out.
For a young player, and this was the same with Saka. You can see this, but how many young players do we see that spark from? We spoke about Ross Barkley last week.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I said he's going to be a world
they
beater.
don't now. Kobe Mainoo just has to do this as consistently as he can. And as he gets older, obviously, hopefully the consistency comes even more and more. But yeah, that performance was good from him.
Yeah, I agree. And then another player I was going to ask you about was obviously Højlund.
Yeah,
because I don't know if I've been on record as being against Højlund. I'm not against Højlund. I think he could be a good player. I think last week I said he'd be better without Ten Hag.
You persistently call him a scrub.
I do call him a scrub because look at where we're getting to. Yeah. It's going to come to Jan. Yeah, if he doesn't score this match weekend, it's going to come to January where he does not have a Premier League goal. And I agree he's too young to lead the line at United. I agree he needs to be like learning his trade rather than leading the line and all the above. But people like Mateta have a goal. People like Lewis Miley have a goal. Like you've been playing the games, you've been getting the minutes. I agree that you're feeding off scraps, but
Jackson has 7.
There's other people in other teams feeding off scraps who also have a goal. Ollie Morris, Carl Morris from Luton. You know, he's got a goal. He's feeding off scraps. You can't tell me that they're playing expensive football, getting him 5 or 6 chances a game. And I'm not here to kill him for not scoring a goal because some of the hold-up play, some of the running that he's done is good work for United. But I'm looking at things and I'm like, okay, where do you fit in longer term with what's going on? Because the wingers are cutting and shoot wingers. You seem to be the like, you know, I want the ball at the back post type of striker or whatever's going on. And then the chance that he has in the Liverpool game, I'm not expecting a 20-year-old to finish that. Yeah. But I am...
It's just the wrong type of finish
as
well.
Yeah.
I think with Højlund, and you said this last week, like he's zero Premier League goals in 14 matches. There is no excuse for that. Like, you can't, like, regardless of wingers don't cross or expansive football, Man United, there's no excuse for that whatsoever.
72 mil.
But he's what, 20, 21?
Yeah, exactly. He's got a lot to learn.
And it's his first season in the Premier League. And this is what I was saying when I was saying that, like, Man United can't rely on Højlund to come in and just bag goals. And that's an immense amount of pressure to put on a 20, 21-year-old. And with players, you always kind of, especially if they come from another league, you always kind of give them a first season to adjust.
Yeah.
The thing for me is that Højlund in Serie A at Atalanta scored, what was it, 9 goals?
Yeah, in these 2 years.
So it's not like he was a bagsman and then you've signed him and now he's not bagging. Like, Højlund's not a goal, like he hasn't proven in his career to be a goal scorer.
I agree that he hasn't proven himself to be a goal scorer.
But he does need to score. There's no taking away.
Yeah, I just think that I just think that one of these games, Højlund has going to if he wants to keep his head above water, has to make himself a hero.
Yeah,
you just have to get on the end of it. You can't be a second late.
Yeah, even just for his sake, for his confidence.
If it's a 0-0, be the guy who's actually at the end of the one ball Garnacho gets across, or the one ball that Anthony's able to put in. And
I think sometimes he's almost too concerned with wrestling the centre back.
Yeah, but I think because that's what he's good at, and he gets the applause.
Yeah,
for.
But in this league, the centre backs are coming up.
Mateta has goals. Like Jean-Philippe. You know, you can't tell me he's not feeding off scraps, and Crystal Palace are giving him 4 or 5 clear-cut chances a game. The strikers out there who feed off scraps, and that is their job. It's the feed of the scrap, and the 1 or 2 chances that I do get every 3 games, I take one of them.
Yeah,
at least. And I think we're at that stage of Fulham where I hear the excuses, I hear the whole new league thing, I hear the young thing, I hear nobody in Manchester United's forward line is scoring goals. But you spent 72 million on this guy.
Yeah,
there has to be a player in there somewhere. And I'm just beyond.
Well, there doesn't have to be.
okay.
Because look
at
so there definitely doesn't have to be.
The manager has to do more, in my opinion, than to get something from him, to get something out of him. Because the only way United get anywhere this season is if their strikers score goals. They've only scored 18 goals, which Luton have scored 18 goals.
Yeah. No, it's been poor. But this week of all weeks,
it's not the week to get onto him.
Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Because Ten Hag just deserves his praise this week. Because, like we say, everyone just expected them to get battered, and it's probably some people. I heard one person say that's the best result of Ten Hag's Man United career. It genuinely might be. I know he beat Liverpool at Old Trafford last year, beat City and everything, but for him to go to Anfield, like you say, and keep a clean sheet, especially given the circumstances and what people thought, I think, fair play to Ten Hag and the way he set up the team. But a couple of the other Man United players that I want to talk about.
Yeah, I know who you're going to mention.
Firstly, just quickly, McSauce, real captain. Real captain. Because if Bruno Fernandes walks out at Anfield with the armband, I reckon Liverpool win that game. Because he's not going to do. And McTominay didn't play well. People are cussing him out for that counter attack when he tripped over the ball and fell over. But he worked hard. He worked hard. He covered for 2 men in the press. He was tracking back. I liked his interview before the game where he came out and they asked him about being captain, and he was like, I think he came out in his interview, and even Erik ten Hag said that like Scott knows what it means to play for Man United. He knows what this fixture means.
He tried to get rid of Scott in the summer.
Yeah. But look, it happens, man.
But I was gonna say on Scott McTominay to give him a little bit of praise and credit is, I do think he doesn't get enough credit for being at United since he was 12 years old or 6 years old or whatever, making it all the way through that academy and into some sort of regularity in the first team. Whether there's a little bit of luck in there, whatever's happening, like this is actually Manchester United's academy, and there's a lot of talented players that have come in and not been good enough, or not had the right mentality, not been the level. So to some extent, there's been a lot. Declan Rice, for example, was dropped from Chelsea's academy. Like there's been a lot of guys who get cut from academies who still go on to have good careers, but you got cut at one point. People's looking at you saying, "Nah, you're not the guy." And apparently they never said that. About Scott McTominay at Man United, and he's made it all the way through. So for him to actually captain the club in the Premier League game and not lose that game and all this kind of stuff, from that sort of 0 to 1 boyhood fan type thing, that is kind of huge. Yeah, and
I mean, like you say, he's come through Man United, he's come through the ranks, and to lead Man United out as captain of your boyhood club at Anfield and to get a result given the circumstances, like he deserves his praise for that. And I think a lot said about Scott McTominay, and this isn't like us say it because we know who Scott McTominay is.
Yeah, exactly. I know who he is. I know exactly who he is.
And Man United fans always cuss him out because he does kind of hide when they have the ball and he doesn't want to take the ball and whatever. But I do think there is value in a player like Scott McTominay. And I think if you saw a Scott McTominay in a West Ham or a Brentford or that kind of team, and it was just running power, engine, couple of like sideways passes here and there. I definitely think there's a Premier League player there.
No, I think there is a Premier League player there.
Like when Arsenal were in the pits, the real pits, and it was like Ceballos and Guendouzi every week. I was looking at a Scott McTominay and saying, get this guy an arm.
I'll take a lot of people over Guendouzi just because McTominay cares, and you can tell no matter how poor he is.
Guendouzi used to, but he was just
Guendouzi was that was my biggest problem with Guendouzi was he would pretend to care when the game is done. Like during the 90 minutes on the match, Guendouzi is not doing shit. And then at the end of the match,
Guendouzi had some good performances.
And then at the end of the match, he's pulling guys. He's looking at guys. I'm like, I remember the game is over. We had 90 minutes to prove it on the pitch that we cared and we were better than them. And at the end of the match, he wants to come out and tweet and this a disgrace. Shut up, Guendouzi. Shut up.
that foul on Zaha, man. When Zaha was breaking, man. Rugby tackles it. But no, man. But McTominay definitely deserves his praise. Captain
what did you think about Amrabat?
Amrabat was horrific.
The way
my dad and my brother just kept cussing him out.
The way Amrabat runs can't be real.
Yeah,
it can't be real.
So stiff. He's so stiff.
It can't be real. His turn, he has like a 3-point turn in which he. yo.
What you saying? He's got to do the reverse.
Yeah, he's got
to come back out before he turns around.
And the worst thing is, he scans before he starts the 3-point turn, and it still takes him like 10 touches.
The one thing I will say about Amrabat is he gives 100%.
Yeah,
right. Like he goes out on the pitch and he wants to try. He is just whack. He is so whack.
But they chased him all summer. That's one of the things about Ten Hag.
If they sign Amrabat on a permanent,
I think they have to. I think Florentino put it like it's the Raya, the 5 games, the 3 games that he played. Because
obviously I know Amrabat was poor, but there are the whole back four of Man United. Luke Shaw locked down Salah. I thought Luke Shaw had a very good game.
Yeah.
Both the centre backs. I said it was going to be Evans and Maguire. And this is where I think Ten Hag did get a bit lucky because Maguire got injured.
So he had to play Varane.
I think otherwise it was going to be Maguire and Evans.
Yeah.
And I mean, Evans, 38, 39 years old, and he got onto Anfield and he's kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Like, well played, man. But 2 people, Diego Dallo.
He's done well.
We spoke about Kobe Mainoo take. I was seeing Dallo do like Zinchenko turns, taking the ball in midfield, spinning on it.
I've got a problem with Dallo, and the problem is that in there is a good player.
Yeah,
and it's like there could be 4 games, and 2 of those games you think, man, Dallo
overlaps, balls in the box.
He'll play.
Am I watching Reece James?
He'll play a ping, or he'll deliver the ball into the box, and you think, wow,
yeah,
how old is he? And then the other 2 games,
horror shows.
It's like all the goals come down Dallo's wing.
Left his man at the back post.
Rudimentary mistakes. Mistakes.
But he was on point in that game. And
I think he was unfairly sent off.
Yeah, he was.
I think it's
criminal. Cam's called it a fed card.
Yeah, I think that's a farce. Like,
but the way he took the ball in midfield, the way he was turning on it, he reminds me, him and Pedro Porro, I think, are quite similar in the sense of like technically they're very techie guys.
They got it.
Some of the stuff Dallo was doing, the way he was receiving the ball, there's a lot of centre midfielders that probably can't do that. So yeah, shout and Varane is the other one.
Yeah,
came back into the box and came back into the team and was just dropped a monster class really and just box defending. And just clearing your lines. And I think that kind of showed. I personally don't think Varane's been great since he came to
United.
I think he did well.
He's done all right
season.
Some games.
But, I mean, it was him and Lisandro and Casemiro that got beat 7-0 last year. That got 6 past them at Man City. I think that was potentially one of his best games for Man United because everything that came at him, he dealt with and he cleared and he blocked.
Yeah, we know he can do it. There's no doubt that we know Varane can do it. I agree that he's not been like this world beater that we thought he was at Madrid.
And I think Gary Neville made a good point because he said that Varane's not the dominant centre back kind of thing. He probably needs that guy next to him
to be that guy. We'll move on.
Good result for Man United. And Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham, the Friday night game. Tottenham won 2-0. After Forest applied some pressure.
Oh no.
Callum Wilson.
Is that who's number 5 for Chelsea?
They might be Badia Shield.
Because that is a howler.
Badia Shield. Our man called him a Rolls Royce. On this pod.
That is a stinker. That is a stinker of a blunder.
Clumsy. Yeah, but what do you make of Nuno coming in?
I think it's kind of harsh on Steve, to be honest, because they're going to stay up, and it's like they're going to stay up with Nuno, and then Nuno's going to get the credit for staying up when the team that Steve has built and has worked on for however long is going to stay up.
They've been on a bad run, though.
They've been on a bad run. They're kind of near the bottom. You know what I really think? I really think if Sean Dyche wasn't ahead of Nottingham Forest, Steve is under no trouble. He's under no pressure at all.
But you can't compare Steve Cooper to one of the GOATs.
And
they can't do that.
And it's not even that, but I just think the board are looking at things and saying, wait, we didn't have a 10-point deduction and we're in and around it. Like, and Nuno will come in and it's going to be a different style of football. We know what kind of style of football Nuno plays. Yeah. Rigid, very defensive. Wing backs are going to get involved.
If anyone's watching this podcast and you wanna see what Nottingham Forest are up to, which I doubt you do not watch Nuno's Forest, because Nuno's Wolves, the driest team to watch, the
deadest
team.
football is 0-0 or 1-0, and those are the scores that he lives for. He spent his life as a goalkeeper. He's not really here for expansive attacking play, but. Maybe Nuno will add
He's
something.
A good manager.
He's a good manager. And there was a time I would have taken Nuno at Arsenal. Do you remember I was saying that?
Yeah.
So
Mikel's done wonders.
Yeah, he's done wonders because he was in the gutter.
But yeah, no, he's a good manager. He is a good manager for sure. I think he will get the Forest team playing. And there are some nice pieces in that team that he can work
for
with.
For sure.
But I said this last week when there was the speculation. I think Nottingham Forest aim at the start of the season was survival.
Yeah.
And I think they would have done that with Steve Cooper. I think he deserved a bit more time. But I guess
they're just tired of looking at his face. Just said enough.
I couldn't believe he's 44.
No.
Ornstein dropped the bomber. He said they've got rid of the 44-year-old. Steve Cooper's 44. Couldn't believe it.
That is impossible for that alone.
But he'll get another job. He'll get another Premier League job.
If he waits around long enough, there's going to be another team at the bottom that's going to
Marco Silva goes.
Yeah, it's going to get rid of that.
I think he'll get another job. And the only other thing I have to say on
Matt Turner,
whack. Matt Turner is so awesome.
Do you know what it is? You know what it is? It's not even the passing out from the back. That's a bad mistake. No one should really be doing that. But what you can't do is you can't compound that with flimsy wrists at the near post.
Go in between your hands.
Kulusevski's not even. He's not picked out a corner. He's not even drilled it with godlike power. Where you think, oof, no chance of getting to that. No, he's just kind of hit it on target.
If Matt Turner just stands there,
if he hits his chest. That's what I'm saying. If he hits his chest, it doesn't go in. And I just don't think that you can compound poor errors like your first mistake with worse second errors.
Nuno needs to drop him again because
it also makes you think like there's no other team in my mind more than Arsenal that sends out second keepers to be Premier League keepers for other teams.
Yeah.
But what was Matt Turner even did? Where was he going?
You know how many ex-Arsenal goalkeepers there are?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Emmy, Fabianski,
they're everywhere.
Matt Turner.
Yeah.
They're all out there.
They're everywhere. So I'm like, but who thought he was ever going to be?
What did we get from like 10 mil?
No way.
Yeah. We got about that, I think.
No way we got 10 mil. He was at least 1.5.
No, bro. We got like 10 mil.
And I think the only reason we did it was because they were willing to just pay up front and like
let me Google it. But whilst I Google it, on Tottenham, good win for Tottenham.
Clean sheet.
And Richarlison scoring goals.
Richarlison, Kulusevski getting involved. We called him to stand up.
Yeah, we asked him to rise with end product, and he's not only playing well, he's also adding the end product.
Yeah.
So fair play to Kulu.
Yeah. It's interesting. Tottenham are doing well. I think they actually could genuinely be in a shout for this top 4 position. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be tight, whatever. But they're doing better than like £10 million. Yeah. That's an abs. Edu's done wonders there.
We got 10 mil for it.
Edu's done wonders there. I think Tottenham are actually like. I expected the drop off to be further down than where they are, and I didn't expect the heights to be as high as where they are.
Yeah.
So in my mind, all ends up they're a better team than where they were. And as I said, look, they're still waiting for players to come back. Matters. I found out today that
the things I don't know if they're a better team because when Conte got sacked, they were actually in the top 4 last year. People forget that when Conte actually got dismissed after the Southampton game, they were in the. But
do you know what?
Tottenham fans will feel a lot better.
No, I think they are a better team because Conte 1 was also, in hindsight, doing miracles because we were saying at that time, like, how does Tottenham, like, underneath the starting lineup, you have Skip and you have Winks and you have all of this shit. Yeah. And it was like, at least now we're looking at Tottenham's, not second string team, but like, not their first full strength team.
But they still have those scrubs.
And you're still digging out results. They still have those scrubs, but now they have Udogi who's 19 or whatever and 20 years old.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. For Tottenham fans, they can enjoy this more. They've
got young players who they can genuinely be like, oh, I think in a couple of years he can be a serious. Like before that, it was like if Kane doesn't bail us out, we just have an underlayer. We just have an underlayer of rubbish.
Yeah.
That no manager can really buy or clear out, and it's like, So I think it's more organic and more organic in terms of positive developments. You can genuinely grow and build from here, and it's going to be beneficial from that perspective.
I think Son's performance as well. That's the wing that I remember.
Yeah,
that's the wing that I know.
Yeah,
last what he was doing against Newcastle, crazy. But that's the Son that that's why you weren't in our wingers list because of that. Because he was null and void in that game.
I was actually messing around at work, just like
Toffolo had him on strings.
I was messing around at work trying to just waste time, but who do you think? I found this out. Who do you think are the highest scoring midfielders in the Premier League in the last 5 seasons?
Kevin De Bruyne.
He's one of the 3.
In the last 3 seasons,
or the last sort of 4 or 5 years. I think it was 5 that they did in the office. Still, they're all still playing in the Prem, or like the ones that are still playing in the
Prem. Maddison.
Yeah, he's one of the 3. You've got 2 and 3, by the way, and they both have 43 goals. Maddison and
there's
Kevin,
someone ahead of both of them.
Yeah, and Kevin De Bruyne. And they both have 43 in like the last 5 seasons or something like that.
Is Phil Foden in there?
No, he's not. He's not done those heights yet.
Who else could be in there?
It's an obvious answer, but then at the same time, they don't come to your mind quite as freely as
Bruno
those.
Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes.
Exactly. He's got 47 in the last 5 years. But I say that to say, somebody in the office was making a point about like goal scoring midfielders and how they're a bit of a dying breed. And only Bruno, 47, I think it was, KDB 43, Maddison 43 as well, are like some of the last of goal scoring. Obviously, Odegaard got 15 last year. There's guys that are doing it, but the consistent of like, I get 10, 10 year in, year out, it's just not as much. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But alas.
But yeah, and Bissouma's red card. He's now got a 4-game ban.
Is it because he got one before? Bless you.
Yeah, because he's already had 2 suspensions.
Oh, so that's
he
what
had
it's
one
on.
for a red card, then one for 5 yellows, and now this one. So he's missing 4. It was stupid challenge as well. Missing 4 games, and then he goes to AFCON. So
that's he's done.
Like February.
So now we have to find out who Oliver Skip really is again.
or Højbjerg's coming back in, or whatever it is. But I think overall that's Tottenham were in a good position. And I think they've got Everton next weekend, which I think will be a good game because Everton are in good form, and then I think they got Brighton. And if they could go into the new year in a similar sort of position, maybe 5-6 points off top place, they would have beat your hand off at that. At the start of the season,
the new year, 5-6 points off top.
Yeah. And then getting some players back. So we'll move on from that game. The next game was Bournemouth versus Luton. Obviously, this match got abandoned. So all we really had to say on it, thoughts with Tom Lockyer and his family. It was sad to see.
Solanke though.
Solanke scored another goal in that game. It'd be interesting to see whether that actually counts.
On FPL
because but I think the Premier League have said that they're going to replay that game from the start.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Obviously, the only thing that matters in that is the Tom Lockyer, and he's in a stable condition now. But we'll move on from that game. Chelsea versus Shef U. Much needed win for Chelsea. They won 2-0. I watched this game, and the first half was so dry.
I can imagine.
Chelsea just couldn't break them down. But second half, they stepped it up. And the only thing I can take from this, on the Shef U side, all I've got written here is Foderingham or Matt Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Foderingham was just like, what's he doing on that second goal, man? It's hit the post, it's hit the back of his head, he's come back out, he's still not got there, and then Jackson's tapped it in. So I don't even know.
Binge drinks the night. He binge drinks the night before because some of his they're calamities, like clangers. I don't even know.
I think Foderingham's drinking JDs before the game.
That's what I'm saying. He's odd, or there's something about Championship football that he loves. Maybe there's something in his contract. There is.
I can't trust the goalkeeper that's left-footed.
Yeah.
I can't. If
Also,
you're
the name.
other than Edison, but Edison could play outfield.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're a goalkeeper who's left foot,
It's not the
left-footed
same.
players should play outfield.
Also,
Play left back, play left centre
the
back.
name Fotherington, like, come on.
Wes.
It screams of somebody who has feeble and weak hands.
Championship DNA.
Yeah.
Born and bred to live in the championship.
Yeah, no, they should trade keepers. They should just do a quick swap to see. Like, is it us or is it
But the only thing I can say about Chelsea is this Cole Palmer's
cooking for them. Play that wide now.
He's just on a different level to the rest of them.
I found out the other day that you almost went Burnley. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And yeah, man, we said this before about how much respect we have for Cole Palmer for actually leaving. And soon enough, I'm genuinely going to start putting him in those Foden conversations.
Foden,
and we're going to have a serious debate about which one of them's actually a better player.
No, Foden's a better player as it stands.
Cole Palmer's doing serious
creeping.
stuff.
Cole Palmer's definitely creeping.
Yeah, it's the way he just goes and picks up the ball and says, "Yeah, give it to me."
Yeah, I need it.
Yeah, I need the way like a James Madison does. The way Odegaard does when he was on it.
He also seems to have a lot of time when he is on the ball. Like defenders be pressuring him. It'll be like, you think, this is a critical moment in the game, and like he always feels like
Bernardo Silva's definitely taught him that.
Yeah, he's playing on his time.
On a lefty as well.
Yeah,
he's gone to Bernardo. And he's like, and Bernardo's like, you do this, you move into this pocket, and but yeah, he's playing well. Goal and assist. Should have had another one. Broja missed a sitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
The interesting thing in that game, no Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo dropped.
Clean sheet.
Gallagher, Caicedo, running power.
Yeah.
Look, Chelsea looking a bit more solid, man. Could that be the way forward?
Poch coming out saying we need more work to do in both January transfer window and on the pitch.
Yeah.
Is he talking about
replacing Enzo?
Nah, that 10-year contract, he's buying that out.
I spoke to Alban earlier today, and he was like, Mudryk is so bad.
This is the Michael Keane I know. Michael Keane on the weekend put in a great performance.
He scored.
Yeah, put in a great performance. I watched him.
Yeah,
but this is the Keane.
That's his bread and butter. But yeah, I'm on saying that he was like, Mudryk is just so poor.
Yo, the number 10 on his back. I think it weighs too heavy on him. I think honestly he needs a 27.
But I've seen enough from Mudryk to know that. If Arteta, some guy tweeted like, give Arteta a malleable footballer with some PMP and no ball IQ.
And he tells him to world beater.
Arteta will just turn them into a deep bro. Honestly, Arteta would have turned this guy into
I agree that there is enough PMP and striking ability. Like he's quick and he can strike the ball. Everything else is sloppy. Yeah, as it stands.
He genuinely. Someone I mentioned this last week. Someone said he plays like a 14-year-old. Like his IQ of just like decision making and what to do. It's
so poor. It's so poor. And he makes up his mind. You can tell at the very last minute.
Yeah.
And
that's where if Arteta just had him, hug this touchline.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get it, run full speed at the defender. Move this way. Move that way. Make these runs.
Agree.
But yeah, I think it was a much needed win for Chelsea, man. If they draw or lose that game, but move on from that one to another interesting game: Man City, Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace just have this thing against Man City. It's just of all teams, Crystal Palace.
I think Crystal Palace on some level is everybody's bogey. Like in December. You just don't want... Like, Liverpool should not have come away with 3 points last week.
Liverpool have a good record against them, though.
Liverpool should not have come off last week, with a win at Crystal Palace. So to put in those two performances against the top two teams in the country, it's not like Aston Villa came away with 2-1 wins. But I think Crystal Palace's performances were almost just as good. They have, less quality players playing the same two teams. And... taking them all the way. Not giving up. 2-0 down in this game, 10-15 minutes to go. You think both sides can shake their hands and be like, oh, well.
Yeah, game over. Yeah, ref may as well blow the whistle now.
Yeah. Both teams can come out and say that. So I got a massive respect to Crystal Palace and Roy, because obviously Roy had to come out last week and say that there's 100% enough in this squad to stay up. I'm not worried about that one bit. And guys were like, oh, is Roy, what's going on?
Yeah.
So... fair play to Roy.
Yeah, and because we're talking about Palace, Elise. cold.
Do you know what I realized watching that game as well? Like watching Elise play and all this, I was like, we're never gonna see that goal that he scored against was it Luton? Yeah. Like that's not happening again this season.
It will happen.
That's not happening again.
Elise
this
could do it again.
Like it's a one of one goal.
Saka almost did it against Luton.
It's a one of one goal. But his penalty was super cold. His penalty was
bottom bins.
Yeah.
Edison.
I've also got to shout out Mateta. Jean-Philippe. His last couple of games, winning penalties left, right, and center, getting in the box, becoming a menace.
Yeah.
Drifting off Ake.
Foden giving away penalties.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Palmer's getting goal and assist, but but yeah, on the Man City thing, I think it's crisis. One win in 6 for Man City.
The reason it's not crisis,
and when we were saying this about Tottenham, we were saying crisis.
No,
any team in the Prem,
exactly.
Burnley, Shef U, 1 in 6.
Yeah, it would be.
We need to have conversations.
But the thing is that they're only 6 points off top or 5 points off top.
Yeah.
So it can't be crisis
but this period we're looking at now, mate. If Arsenal went 1 win in 6. Imagine
if Arsenal won winning 6, I'd be coming in here saying that there's a crisis.
Yeah,
but this is when we come down to Roy Keane's thing. They've got the pedigree.
Yeah.
They put the medals on the table,
but something's not happening at the minute.
We know they can win 15 games. Something is not happening in the minute. Something
City fans booing as they come off.
And I don't just think it's like, oh, KDB's out, so City aren't. I think some of the new signings aren't really gelling or aren't really putting up the performances that the old signings or the old previous players were putting up to. You know, Gvardiol's still getting cooked quite a lot of the time.
Still playing left back.
Kovacic and Matthias Nunes. Like, who really knows?
Can't even polish Gundogan's boots.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
Riyad Mahrez.
No Riyad Mahrez. I think it is beyond just like, oh, KDB's not here. Haaland didn't play today, but even then, it's I think it's beyond just that. But I also don't think it's a big enough issue.
Yeah.
To call up. But I agree, because you put into the group chat, you said like, look, something's happening. I was speaking to Wiley, you were saying a similar sort of thing.
But because only once in Pep's whole managerial career has he gone 1 in 6 before.
Yeah, I think,
and I still I don't think I've actually asked you this, but who do you think is going to win the league?
I think it will be City.
Yeah,
but I also think that we have the best chance, if not them.
If it's not City,
to win the league,
Arsenal.
Yeah. I don't really. I think Liverpool are in a title race, but I don't think they are title contenders. Like they're going to finish on 89 or 88 or whatever it will take to win the title.
Yeah.
But I will go City just because, look, KDB can come back.
Yeah.
6 points isn't massive. We have another loss or 2 losses in us this season.
And this is the thing I was gonna. This is the thing I was gonna ask you was I still think Man City. I've said this before. I still think Man City are gonna win the league. And that's because obviously pictures of De Bruyne back in training now out for the club or whatever. I think Kevin De Bruyne just as one player, as one man, is single-handedly
can overhaul
worth
10
points. So I think Man City, and genuinely, I think Man City could be 10 points behind in March. And I think Kevin De Bruyne could make that up.
That's the thing. It's like
that's how much I think Kevin De Bruyne, and we know what he's like in clutch time.
But what I will say is, I think
you know, we said last week Guardiola's like, go UFC, go Abu Dhabi, because you were like, I think he's fit, but Guardiola was like,
chill.
Yeah, bro. If City get like, maybe it becomes 8 points, Guardiola will just bring him back 2 weeks earlier. And then if it goes 10 points, he'll bring him back 2 weeks. Even if KDB has to come back in February, because the gap is 10 points, Guardiola would. The only thing is if KDB doesn't come back from his injury,
that's good.
Quite at the level.
What I was gonna say is, I think it's gonna take as good a run as City have ever had. However long their longest winning streak is,
they're gonna have to win 10 on the bounce, 10, 11, 12.
I don't think 10 will be enough. I think it's gonna have to be the 15s, the 16s. Which is almost pretty much the remainder of the, but I think it's gonna have to be, sort of 14 plus to win the title, because I do still see them, even with KDB in there dropping points to some other teams, like a draw here, one other loss there, or how, like, so I think it's going to take the absolute best of them for the next 14 plus, 15 plus wins to edge it out, because I don't think we will lose as many points as we did last year during that March to May run in.
But I think the biggest thing, not only, and the reason why I attribute like 10 points to KDB is because he'll come back and do his thing, but he'll influence
Everybody
what
has to do
Haaland's
their
doing.
thing. Yeah.
He'll influence. You mentioned match week 4 or whatever, when KDB comes back and he plays that ball to Doku.
Yeah,
so he's influencing Doku.
It's
He'll
long.
influence Grealish, Robert Foden. He'll influence all of the forward players, and he'll be able to help out with Rodri and Bernardo Silva, and they can do their thing. But yeah, I mean, we both know Man City. We've seen what they've done over the last couple of years. We saw what they did to Arsenal last year.
Yeah.
No one's writing them off. I think you'd be a fool to write them off.
Oh, no.
And yeah, especially with KDB to come back. I mean, I asked you this last year when City went on the run and won the title with KDB was the best Premier League midfielder. If he comes back
and does it again,
and Man City go semi-final of the Champions, maybe they don't win the Champions League, but they win the league.
Yeah, and he's influential.
Is he the best?
He
if he does it again,
he might be. I think he will be. I don't really have a reason to not call him the best right now.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that he's still
still
just playing football. I don't have a legitimate argumentative point to say why he's not the best. I was looking at some of the records today. He's on, I think he's top 4 assisters of all time, and he is 1 or 2 behind third place. He won't get to Giggs' 162. That's just ridiculous. But he will definitely finish in the top 3. He's got the premise to prove it. He's got the big goals, big games record to prove it. He's got everything. Literally.
And I mean, that turning up when it matters most.
Yeah,
this is in the Bernabeu last year.
Yeah,
in Munich, whenever it was. And yeah, I think, like you say, even now it's tough to say he's not the best.
Yeah.
To ever play.
I think the only thing holding me back is maybe just the being afraid of recency bias. But he's put in as good a seasons as any of your favorite midfielders' best season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and I mean,
and he's been consistent
treble winner.
Yeah.
Look, the trophy cabinet, what he's won.
Yeah.
I think I almost think if he comes and does it again, then it's just undeniable.
A nail in the coffin.
Then like what else can you say?
Yeah.
Like who else in Premier League history? I know Roy Keane won seven Premier League titles, and Frank Lampard scored all of his goals and stuff. But who else has done what KDB's done as consistently? I think that would be 5 or 6 Premier League titles for KDB. Yeah. Including a treble in there.
Yeah.
I think it'll be undeniable, but yeah. And I fully expect him to just come back and just bang smoke.
He's not even that old either.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's. I think if he does come back and bang it, he'll leave. But it's not even like he is genuinely done after this one, or he has one more in him. He might have if he wanted to, and he was, could have another 2.
Yeah, he could. But we'll move on from that game. Newcastle versus Fulham. Newcastle won 3-0. Shout out Lewis Miley.
Youngest scorer
ever Premier League goal scorer. At 17, we were worrying about A-levels.
Yeah.
You having to deal with everyone at Trinity telling you Payet's better than Ozil.
Yeah, he's playing with 90.
Yeah, and he's
Champions League.
PSG, Parc des Princes.
Yeah.
Getting it done, and he scores. So shout out Lewis Miley. Standard 3-0 win for Newcastle. Raul Jimenez with the most hilarious red card.
I actually don't think it's a red.
I was laughing. No, it's a red.
I actually don't think it's a red.
It's definitely a red. How is that legal in any way? What sport is he playing? He's just jumped into Longstaff's face.
Yeah, it's the way Longstaff lands is
even
very
Marco
dangerous.
Silva was laughing.
I think I'm not like upset that they've given a red, because the way Longstaff lands is like Jimenez's bomb is literally in Longstaff's face, knocks it head on. Like Longstaff,
there's no attempt at the ball.
Longstaff doesn't even.
There's no way Jimenez can win the ball jumping like that.
Longstaff doesn't use his hands to break his fall, which I thought, man, is this guy knocked out? Like, what's going on? He just drops down. Yeah. But I still don't think it's a red because, and I can't even explain it. I've never seen players get sent off for that.
It's
I think a
just
yellow
so
is like,
clumsy.
I think a yellow is just like, yeah, get on with it, you idiot.
Yeah,
Type of challenge.
I watched it. It was just so funny. Man.
It's
so funny to watch, man. The way Jimenez
and he's on
jumps
form.
into him.
He's got 4 goals in 2 games or whatever it is.
And yeah, after they go down to 10, man,
it's over.
Yeah, it's a long way back at
It's
St. James's. But yeah, moving on from that.
Wait,
game,
did you see Marco Silva's post-match press conference?
Yeah, he cussed out the refs, innit?
And this is an example of a referee that cannot handle the pressure of the press. I was like, damn.
Oh, man.
I was like, of all hills to die on. This.
Yeah, I mean, you should be cussing out Jimenez, man. You gotta cuss out your striker. What is he doing?
He's got to get a fine or something for that, man.
What is he doing?
It wasn't even the ref. The ref gave a yellow. It's VAR who said it was a red. And this is an example of the 60,000 fans. I was like, damn.
Oh, man. I think Jimenez was annoyed because I think he'd been fouled.
Oh,
couple seconds before. And didn't get a foul. And then just went flying into Longstaff. I saw a tweet. This is why Twitter's undefeated, man. It was of the WWE. Some wrestler just coming and flying in. And it's just like Jimenez at St. James's. But yeah, moving on to the Sean Dyche derby.
Yeah.
Cannot believe this was on TV at 5:30.
At 5:30 on a Saturday. I saw the funniest tweet to finish. I saw the funniest tweet. I was like, this is the most, go ahead and enjoy your festive season fixtures list.
No one stay home and watch this. Go out. But yeah, sure, Everton winning 2-0. Sean Dyche is on a tear, man. 5 wins in the last 6.
Yeah. I watched Everton go 2-0 up, and I thought, this game, I cannot watch the remaining 45 minutes of this. And
Burnley, the goals they conceded. First one from a corner, Anana at the back post. I know he's a big guy.
Dunks on him.
You can't let that happen.
Yeah.
The second one, Ricochet, Michael Keane.
Also,
he's free, 4 yards out.
Yeah. Also, what I don't like, I can't say that they were taken aback by the football Sean Dyche was playing, but I was saying to the people I was watching it, I was like, this is a must not lose for Vincent, for the simple fact that you can't let the old guy who everybody loves and still misses come back and do one over on you and prove that they shouldn't have got rid of him or that this is his city or whatever's going on. Like you can't, if you want to have any sort of say so in this town or Burnley come moving forward, this is the one that you can't let get over on you. And if he does, let it be because Sean Dyche used all of his know-how and managerial experience to pull something out the bag, to play some style or make some sort of tweak.
Scores a worldie.
Some sort of change that he does. He drops Onana into a back 3 and pushes somebody, something else where it's like, we never knew Sean Dyche had this in his locker.
He hasn't just come and dominated.
Yeah, he can't just come and play Sean Dyche football, get the 2-0 win over you.
There's a pub in Burnley named after him.
Yes, that's what they were speaking about.
The Royal Dyche.
I just think
I saw someone say Dyche is looking at company and saying, "This is what you did with my work."
Yeah,
this is the foundations that I laid.
And it's company himself never did it, but it's like the begging of respect for getting 100 points in the championship and playing out the back football. Calm. I get the media hype and the love around it, but you, Vincent, you can't be like, I'm accepting this praise and then go and lose 2-0 to the old guy who's done it the old way, who never got them relegated and all this kind of stuff. I just thought you would have shown a little bit more. I know Burnley have got injuries, but I thought you would have shown a little bit more, or you wouldn't have lost the game to 2 set pieces where guys are getting free headers in the 6-yard box. Yeah. Like that's the one you would have, if there's one thing I'm drilling versus Everton all week, headers, corners, beat your man, intensity.
Yep. Yeah, it was just and the thing is, I don't know. I think Burnley are just going to stick with Vincent Kompany. I think Vincent Kompany is going to keep playing the same way, and he's going to take Burnley down doing it because 100% you can play like that, and you can stick by your principles and do everything you want to do, but you cannot concede sloppy goals, man. Like if you're a team that's come up, you do not concede from corners. Firstly, make sure you're good on all set pieces, right? Because that's cheap goals, right? And the second thing is make sure that like the opposition centre back isn't in 40 yards of space inside your own box with his choice of where to put it in the goal. But yeah, moving on from that game, to Arsenal versus Brighton. Arsenal winning 2-0. Nice game for Arsenal. They dominated the ball, but I actually came away, walking away from the Emirates, and I found myself more like annoyed.
I was the opposite
than happy.
I was elated.
Because I know we won and we played very well.
Yeah,
our press was immaculate,
it was ridiculous,
flawless. The way we were pressing. But Arsenal will not win the league playing like that. And obviously people like, let me explain this, because obviously we won the game, we created loads of chances. We played well. Arsenal cannot keep creating that many chances and not scoring goals, because we'll go to Anfield and let's say we create 5 chances, and like Brighton should have been out of sight. That should have been 4-5
in the first
5-0.
half.
Yeah, maybe not in the first half, but at least across the 90 minutes.
We had like 15 shots in the first half. It was crazy.
And when that ball comes across the box and Pascal Gross,
I thought it was in.
If that goes to 1-1,
I legit thought it was in.
And Arsenal got lucky in that sense. I know we dominated the game. I know we deserved to win the game. We created more chances, but Arsenal will not win the league if they don't start taking.
I don't know. I'm the opposite. I think the creation of chances is more important, maybe, than even the taking of the chances themselves. Like, obviously, the taking of the chances wins you the games,
but we saw it against Villa, and it quite easily could have been dropped points again there.
But that's my point. Is look, there's always going to be fine margins at this level in this league, but I think that we were resolute at the back. Pascal Gross had one chance where he probably should have taken it, but that was it.
Yeah,
that was one chance that they had. And we had about 5 or 6 chances where we should have scored. If Odegaard has a right foot or trusts his right foot anymore.
But if that's Mo Salah,
if Saka
on Saturday.
But that's the thing. It's
we're
like
punished.
The thing is, I think I think if you keep playing like that, you won't miss as many chances.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's my thing. Is I would rather have the creation of chances, because I know that we do have the quality of players to take those chances.
Yeah.
The game should have been outside. It shouldn't have been as nervy as it was. But I am more glass half full on this, rather than, because I've seen the one chance a game type of stuff where it's like we create 1 or 2 chances and it's like, I've seen that, and I hate that, because there's no guarantee that people are going to take those chances. What I prefer is the resolution at the back, not really giving guys much to sniff at, and the overhaul of chances. Because we have enough players to come on to take that chance. Odegaard, I agree, should have had a goal and an assist coming out of this game. Saka should have had something. Martinelli should have had something. But if we're leaving every game saying that, we will win way more games.
Yeah, but we won't win the league.
We'll win way more games.
Yeah, but we won't win the league.
To be seen.
Because I agree with you. Of course, you want to create the chances. That's a sign of a good team. And I think it was great because that was almost the fluid Arsenal that we've been asking to see.
Exactly.
Which is why, like, I'm not saying obviously I was buzzing with the 3 points, especially after Liverpool drew. City had drawn the day before. But I did come away from the game thinking that was so much harder than it needs to be. And if we play a proper team, no disrespect to Brighton, right? Because Brighton are a good side. But if Liverpool come to the Emirates, or Newcastle come to the Emirates, and we miss those amount of chances, and then a chance falls to Isak or Gordon or Salah or Nunes or whoever it is, and they score, that's it. The 1-1 game's different now.
There's a lot going into it.
Score again? I think Arsenal need to be more clinical.
No, I agree with your point as well, that we need to be more clinical. We should have been outside in that first half. We should have been 2 goals up in that first half. But I honestly think that was one of our best performances.
I agree.
And I also think that the encouragement I take from it as well is the amount of football that's being played, not even just in their half, but in their final third. Like, for Brighton to come out and create a chance from the possession we had, would have, like, you're literally 70, 80 yards away from our goal. We have so much time and space to try and correct things if they do go wrong. So I do think that if it was Liverpool, for example, I mean, Liverpool are a great transition team, maybe one of the best in the league, but I think that I would much rather be seeing Odegaard and Rice and Saka pop the ball around in their final third, missing chances, than us try and play the transition football where we might get 1 or 2 chances a game, but we have
Yeah,
to
of
take
course,
them.
of course, of course. You'd rather see that, but I mean, Pascal Gross's chances in the 80th minute or whatever,
Yeah, it would have been dicey.
and if he scores, that's nervy,
it
and then
would
we
have
have to
been
come back and
dicey.
score again,
Yeah, it
and
would have
then
been dicey.
you got Mitoma on the break and a Dinger on the break.
We need to kill games earlier. I agree with that. Like 100%. We need to, when we get the first goal, like when Jesus scores in the 50th minute or whatever, the second one's gonna come 55, 60.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I like, it's not like I was looking at that game and saying, oh, after Jesus scored, we didn't have another chance till Havertz scored. We had 3 or 4 good chances to score a second goal, and which needs to start happening.
No, I agree, but to be a devil's advocate, we need to start scoring second goals. But even then, City had 2 goals, 2-0 lead till the 75th minute, and they still ended up drawing the game.
Oh, even more proof that we should score more goals.
You know, so
you're never safe, because if Palace
I
can
agree.
do it at the Etihad,
that's what I'm saying.
Even more proof that we need to back those goals.
Like we do need to back those goals. But there is, apart from 3-0, 4-0 with 10 minutes to go, there is no safety, and we're going to be living on that edge.
Yeah,
and I think Arteta has also got us convinced, of like domination of football games. I've never seen Arsenal be as dominant as they are in these football games.
I agree.
And now we'll come to the point where it's like, if a team has 1 chance versus us, we're like, what are we doing? Where are we going?
That's not.
I know what you're saying.
I'm saying that. I know we dominated the game, and I agree with you. It was one of our best performances of the season. Like, Brighton are a good team, and even De Zerbi came out and said they don't usually suffer like that. And our press was top.
Our press was top.
The only reason I'm saying that is because, I know that's Brighton's only chance of the game, but that's their game. That, like, for other teams, that will be their game plan: is let's get this chance and bag it, and then we're in the game, right? If Pascal Gross scores there, Arsenal could come out with a draw.
And it looks terrible.
And in a game, they should have won 4-5-0.
Yeah, I was saying it's a must win, no matter what.
Yeah,
no matter,
obviously you just take the 3 points.
Yeah, but I do agree with your point that we do need to be more clinical. We do need to kill off games. As soon as we get the first, we should be gunning down for the second. Especially in these home fixtures. Especially in these home fixtures. But I was left with much more positivity because we haven't seen that sort of attacking fluidity.
Yeah, we did play well.
For a while, and defensively we're still the same. Like, Gabriel and Saliba are monsters.
Yeah. Maybe it was just because I've said this to you so many times before. Maybe it's just like being sat there in the stadium
and you want that comfortable win.
Yeah, I'm just so
you want that comfortable win. I agree, and I agree with you. Every fan wants that.
Yeah.
But I think we also would be doing, not disrespect to Brighton. They're a good outfit who played well.
No, they did. But them playing well
doesn't negate the fact
that exactly.
We should put 2 behind them.
We should take our chances. But we'll get on to the positive stuff, because there were a lot of positives about that Arsenal performance. One person, Martin Odegaard.
Yeah.
When Martin Odegaard is playing like he played against Brighton, he is one of the best midfielders in the league, without a doubt.
Yeah.
When he's playing like that, and you see he didn't bottle any 50-50s on Sunday. He was getting into all of the challenges. But I mean, that pass he plays to Saka, outside of his foot,
it's quality, man.
The way he was taking it in tight areas. That version of Martin Odegaard is so.
He makes things tick.
Good.
He does make things tick in a different level, and he literally like exudes just footballing technical excellence.
Yeah.
And if he had confidence in his right foot, because I think he can score all of these goals on his right foot, but if he had confidence in his right foot, we'd be looking at a really, like, how do I mark
looking at KDB?
Yeah, because that is my only gripe with Odegaard is
right foot.
It's not even the right foot. It's like the goals he tries to score have to be the cutest goals in the world. Like, it has to be like,
even for Jesus' goal from the corner that we win, Saka plays it across to Odegaard.
Just take it first time.
Right foot, bury it.
It could take 2 deflections off the keeper, off you, and back in the net. I don't care.
Yeah,
but it's like he has to score the cutest, like.
Yeah, it has to hit the side net.
It has to hit the side netting. I have to take 3 touches when normal players would only take 1. But those are the only downsides. Like, beyond that, his performance was stellar, and beyond just on the ball stuff, like him setting off the press, him always leading the press, knowing when to go, turning defenders to their wrong side. He does lead by example. He was great on the ball. He ran 90 minutes non-stop.
Yeah, ran the show. It was quality. And I actually came away from the game, and that was my first thought. My first thought was just like, because I feel like I haven't seen
that level yet.
That version of Martin Odegaard, this, at least in the home games, this season. And I came away from the game, and that was literally just the standout forward. It was just like, when Martin Odegaard is playing like this, it's just a joy to watch. Like, it genuinely reminds me of when I used to watch Mesut Ozil.
I think my takeaway is obviously going to be Havertz, so I'm sure we're going to segue into. My takeaway was just
he was also big on the press.
He was huge on the press.
Very, very important on the press.
Huge on the press, man. I'm just, like we said the other week, I'm seeing things from Havertz that confidence-wise and ability-wise that we just weren't seeing 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, whatever it was. Like, he's nice. He's got nice touches. He has almost all the attributes I could want from a high 8. You know, he can put the ball in the back of the net. He can win a header. He can be tidy with it. He can run 90 minutes. He can put in a challenge. He's not
great finish for the goal.
Great finish for the goal. And like I was saying the other week, he scores big goals. It's not just I'm making it 4-5-0 or I'm making it from 3-4-0. It's like I'm winning the game. I'm equalizing.
Seals the win.
And then that I had that sigh of relief as soon as Havertz put it in. I was like, this is done finally.
Yeah.
Start looking at the table where things change. So my biggest takeaway from the game was just that, like, if he can quietly keep developing like this, the ceiling sort of lies with him, because I know how good Odegaard can be. I know how good Saka and Jesus and Martinelli and these guys can be. But it's like, during crunch time, during these big games, if you can also be an additional X factor, then
which I think he is being. And obviously no one kind of expected that. And one thing I have noticed with Havertz, especially in his time at Arsenal, maybe not so much in his time at Chelsea, and people might say, "Oh, you paid 65 million for this, whatever." But this is just a point. And I think it's actually quite important, because you look at the amount of forward players that get caught offside. Whenever Havertz gets played in, I'm almost like 95% confident he's onside.
No, he's
because he just has that, like, even in the Villa game, when Villa play a high line and try and catch you offside, and he plays that chance for Martin Odegaard to score.
His timing is perfect.
Yeah, I know, and even in that one, Van Hecker goes like this after the goal, looking at the line. but I know, like, because sometimes players get a bit eager. Even sometimes
Did you think he was going to score when he was through, though?
No, I didn't. I didn't even stand up. you know this about me at the Emirates. Like, I've just seen Arsenal get in positions so many times, and there's a bad shot, a great save, a Lewis dunk.
I thought he was going to square it.
I didn't even stand up.
I thought he was going to square it,
and then I just saw the ball hit the back of the net, and I was like, "Yes, let's go." and the Kai Havertz song, man, the Arsenal
I love it. I love it.
I love the song. I sing that almost as loud as I sing Super Mick Arteta.
Yeah, I love it, man.
And the Arsenal fans are right behind him.
I love it. No, I love the fact that the fans are behind him. I love the song so much.
Yeah.
I love the song so much. And shout out to Eddie as well for playing the pass.
Yeah, good pass from Eddie.
I think that goal is, I think it's like...
Yeah, Trossard's bit.
Trossard's bit, Odegaard's no-touch turn.
I think for Trossard to come on and, like, be that composed.
Yeah.
The game's 1-0. I was watching it like, where's he going with this?
Yeah.
Where's he going with this? He's running into trouble.
It's perfect.
But he pulls 3 players towards him and then just slips it to Odegaard.
It's a great team goal. It's very Arsenal football.
Yeah. And the one other guy, Declan Rice.
Yeah, top.
When he went on that run, I was like, yo.
I was going to say goal of the season. I thought that was it.
Is that Patrick Vieira?
You know, I saw the keeper's legs wide open.
I saw it with that touch he goes, and he goes past Gross, and then he runs towards goal, and then he like fakes and drags
Gross
it.
Doesn't have that long.
I think I'm watching Patrick Vieira here.
No, we've said it week in, week out. Like, he's a top baller. He's a top baller. And we can only really measure his importance and X, Y, and Z. Actually, there is another thing I wanted to say, but I'll just finish the sentence. We can only measure his importance just by the trophies and stuff that we will accrue at the end of the season or the seasons to come. But to contradict myself and to give Mikel Arteta some love, I know to non-Arsenal fans, this is nothing. Like, this doesn't mean anything. But I think it is huge credit to Arteta to have us in 2 title fights in back-to-back seasons. Yeah. Huge credit. Like, we haven't won anything yet, so you can't, like, puff out your chest and say much. But to once again be in and around or the best or arguably the best on, second best or whatever it's going to be team in the season 2 seasons in a row. It's been a long time.
Yep.
It's been a long time since we've ever been like consistent. That it's always, Arsenal have had a good year and then we fall off the next year. So I've got a lot of love for Arteta, and it's like managers as well. When you get to his caliber, get measured in the trophies and what you've won. But if you're looking for a manager to put a team together, to build a squad together, and to challenge, which 90% of managers want to be able to do, he's done it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, and I think you're right. Like we haven't really, in what's it been, maybe 16, 17 episodes of this podcast, eulogized about Mikel Arteta in maybe the way that we should have. I think Mikel Arteta deserves a lot of praise, not only for what he's done, like you say, building a team, back-to-back title challenges. I think from where Arsenal were when he came in, I think the mentality that he brought to the Arsenal team, in the sense of like top 4 isn't okay. Like top 4 isn't the aim. What we're trying to do is win and win major trophies. Agreed. I think that is as big a part, because Emery came in and was a good manager, right? And for one season built a good team, had us go far in European competition, whatever. But the mentality of the club and the players didn't really change.
Yeah.
But Arteta changed that, and I think, look, obviously football's a crazy game. Anything can happen. But I don't think I will ever say that I want Arteta to go, regardless of whether we start finishing outside the top 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I will ever say that, because what Arteta has done for me personally as a fan, like going to games towards the end of Wenger, going to games under Emery,
tough, huh?
Like hard work. Yeah. We spoke about not scoring goals and whatever.
The infighting amongst fans of who should start, who shouldn't start, where the team what the team should look like.
I mean, the fan base being as united as it's been, in my time being an Arsenal supporter, hasn't been the case. But I think from even in Arteta's first 2 seasons, maybe I'd resign myself to the fact that I might never see Arsenal win the league, and I think we both kind of had the conversation and accepted like we may never see Arsenal challenge for a title, and we just kind of accepted that. Which maybe we shouldn't have. Obviously, Arsenal have standards or whatever. But sometimes as a fan,
when you're in the gutter,
you got to be a realist as well. Like we didn't know the Cronkies were going to back Arteta the way they have. And I just kind of accepted that, like, I might not see my team play Champions League football.
Yeah.
As more teams start coming up and starting to do better, Arsenal might just kind of fall. And like you say, Mikel Arteta's got us in back-to-back title races, and to go from accepting that we might never be there to being in with a real chance, the Cronkies have to get their respect as well.
Mikel deserves a lot of credit.
Most of it's Mikel. And just the belief that he's given Arsenal fans, like
I think that's
I've got a lot of love for Mikel.
I think that's what you can do. There's only one manager that will win the league every year, or the Champions League or whatever. But your ability to be thereabouts, to compete,
in his first managerial job,
to give good, to give a good account of your club and yourself consistently. Not to like do good one year and fall off in the gutter one year and all the players are leaving and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for him and a lot of time for that, just because second year in a row we could be the best team in the country or one of the best teams in the country, and the only thing people are saying about us is like, do we have the character to actually win it? Whereas previously it's like, do we even have the character to get top 4?
Yeah. I saw a tweet that was like, we're in a title race for the second season running, and round of 16 of the Champions League, and we don't feel like an imposter. Mikel Arteta, you've changed my life.
Yeah,
genuinely, man. Because even when we got to these stages of the Champions League, it was like I was just waiting to go out.
Yeah, was it Barca this time?
Yeah, Bayern. Yeah. Even when it was Monaco and we got lucky, we got knocked out. and Porto might beat us, and that might just be. But I at least go into the game thinking like, we have a good team, we got a good chance here, and that's all on Mikel Arteta. So
for sure,
he deserves his praise, man. But like you say, at the end of the day, Arsenal fans are going to have that attachment to him, but if he doesn't win the trophies
If he doesn't,
and he doesn't, then it is just
He was-
that is what he's going to be judged on.
yeah, that's what he's going to be judged on, especially from non-Arsenal fans. There'll be
Yeah,
the slander,
yeah,
there'll be this,
yeah.
there'll be that, and that's football.
And I understand that
Yeah, that's
because they
football.
won't feel the emotional thing that
yeah.
we feel from where we were and whatever. But it'd be a similar thing with Chelsea fans. If Poch gets Chelsea
Back.
fighting for a title in 2-3 years' time, they might have the same thing. Obviously, Chelsea have had a lot more recent success and whatever. But from where they are, finishing 12th and maybe to finish like 10th or 8th or whatever it is, and Pochettino builds something, they might feel the same way. But yeah, big win for Arsenal, top of the table, going into a massive game at the weekend, which we will preview at the end of this, so stick around for that. But moving on to Brentford versus Aston Villa.
It's an interesting one, no?
A game that I didn't think Aston Villa would win.
I was, especially when Brentford went 1-0 up, I was like, oh,
yeah. I think the Ben Mee red card obviously changed everything. But Mopé Martinez, man, just playing the villains, going at it. T. Watkins celebration.
I liked it.
I liked it
as well.
Apparently that fan was giving him dogs abuse the whole game.
I liked it.
Obviously ex Brentford player as well.
Just stood there, yeah,
through the net. You.
No, it takes Watkins. I think he has like.
I brought him in this week.
I think
I had to bite the bullet. I had to bite the bullet because I knew Haaland was out.
Okay.
And the only other striker I could really get was Watkins.
He has like 10 goals and 6 assists or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, in however many games, 17 games.
And they got Shef U next week, so
nothing to say.
If they beat Shef U and Arsenal
both those games are at home, yeah? They got Shef U and
Shef U at
Burnley
home
or something.
If they beat Shef U at home and Arsenal don't win
they go
at Anfield, they'll be top at Christmas.
I don't
which is an unbelievable achievement.
It's an unbelievable achievement for Villa. But I don't, as you said last week, I don't buy into the Villa challenge.
Yeah, but
it'll be unbelievable.
Even like
no one would have said Villa top by Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, I don't expect them to get top 4, but that doesn't mean they've had a bad season.
Yeah,
maybe from the position they're in now, some people. But I'm never. Even last year, my aim for Arsenal was to try and get Champions League, and they go into a title race, and people were like, "Oh, well, now you move the goalpost and whatever."
You gotta win it.
I'm never really.
That happened to us 2 seasons in a row, by the way.
Yeah, the top 4 thing as well. Yeah, I'm never really one to agree with that and move the goalpost because I feel like at the start of the season,
if that's what you take.
When I say
bit your hand off.
When I say Arsenal are fighting for, I'll be happy if Arsenal get Champions League. That's because I know the teams around them. Like I know what KDB's on. I know what Pep's on. I know what Man City. Yeah, exactly. So for Villa fans at the start of the season will know Liverpool are coming back. Arsenal and City will be there. There might be one other spot. Which Man United, Eric Ten Hag was meant to come back.
Yeah.
And now they're looking, they might say, oh, we'll get top 4. But if Eric Ten Hag goes on a 4, 5, 6 game winning streak, that'd be similar to what Newcastle predicted at the beginning. Exactly. So that's not to say that they've had a bad season or whatever. But yeah, I mean, to be top at Christmas, unbelievable achievement. But yeah, moving on from that game, West Ham versus Wolves. Kudus brace.
Yeah.
And Paqueta got 3 assists.
Get Kudus in.
Another Bowen goal.
Paqueta honestly is a level above, and he doesn't consistently put in these performances, but he consistently will do one thing in a game that lets you know, oh, this guy is serious.
Yeah,
like he has quality that no other West Ham player has, or no other sort of player in and around where West Ham are possess. He'll do crazy things, like long ball from the keeper. He'll like kill it dead over his head. You know, seeing the ball at the very last minute and then play a first-time ball to Bowen, who's through on goal. And he'll act like it's nothing. Honestly. Even the goal for the assist for Kudus' second goal, it's top-notch. Yeah. Brings the ball down into play, releases it at the right time with the right weight. I think West Ham are an interesting team because they can't keep a clean sheet up until this game. Yeah. But they, at the same time, have the offensive qualities to beat or get a result versus anybody. And Bowen is hungry.
Keep scoring goals. And
hit the post as well.
Top of their Europa League group.
Yeah.
So they're going to miss the next round and then come back in when.
And this is what the Bowen is. Bowen, as much as he is the focal point, he's not even a strike. Antonio is meant to be up there, and Ings is in the squad and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. They're making it work.
Yeah. They're playing well, man. They're playing well. I don't know whereabouts they are in the table, but
Yeah, I think they're 10th, maybe. I don't know.
that's the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. West Ham Man United.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Looking forward to that one. And before we do our MVP and Rookie of the Week, massive game this weekend.
Yeah, it's huge.
Arsenal go to Anfield, where they have a notoriously bad record. I don't think we've won there in over a decade. The last time we won there, Abu Dhabi.
I have all these flashes of goals that we've scored at Anfield, like Joe Campbell. And,
Robin Van Persie.
Yeah, all of these goals and stuff.
Sure,
none of them end up in wins. None of them end up in wins. You remember Olivier Giroud on the half on the Cruyff to,
3 and Joe Allen. Last minute. But yeah, massive game. And we're gonna do a bit of a preview for that now. So firstly, how do you think the game's gonna go, man? I mean, last year I remember,
with Jesus scoring. I think every Arsenal fan,
but still to this day, take me back.
To
2-0
when I see Jesus jumping to get that header, and I realize where Alisson is, and I'm like, there's no way, surely, unbelievable.
I remember talking to you guys back then, and I remember you saying that you thought we would go there and win. And I was
confident.
Yeah,
I was confident that we were going to go there and win.
And I remember I just messaged you after the game, and I was just like, Anfield, full stop.
Yeah. I was very confident last year.
That first 30 minutes, even Gary Neville,
some of the best football we played.
Said, "I've never seen a team come to Anfield and do this."
Yeah, some of the best football we played.
Man City or where, but it won't be. How Liverpool played against Man United
won't be the same Liverpool.
They're going to come and they're going to play properly, and they're going to be. I think
this is going to be a frustrating draw. I think it will end 1-1. Or maybe 2-2. I think it will be a game that we should have won, but we'll end up drawing. I think we might miss a penalty, something crazy like that. Like there'll be, it will be that Arsenal were the better team or had the better chances or whatever, dominate the possession, but didn't have enough to get over the line. And it's only going to fuel the in Jan they need to sign a striker. Or it's only going to fuel that narrative. But I think we will go up there, we will compete. I'm interested because we didn't have Saliba last year. Now we're going there with pretty much our best team.
No.
Apart from TP. What?
Yuri Timber, Tomiyasu.
Yeah, but I still...
If we were going there with TP, Yuri Timber, if the backline was going to be Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, TP, Declan
No,
Rice.
I would still play Ben White. Forever, for as good as... I'd play Ben White and Tomiyasu. But I
think Timber might be a bit better on V1.
I would still play Ben White. But
either way, if we were going there with Tomiyasu and TP,
that triangle,
I would sit here and say I think we're going to win it, which is crazy because I would never. You know me, and you know what I think about Arsenal going to Anfield and the amount of slappings that we've held.
Yeah,
3s, 4s, 5s. But if they were fit, I would sit here and say I think we're going to go there and win. But obviously they're not.
Yeah, no, but I still think this is super strong lineup and pretty much our starting lineup for this season that we're going to go into this game with, and I'm more interested in that aspect. Like
don't you just look at Zinchenko versus Salah and Trent on that side and just think
that's going to be interesting. That's going to be our weakness. But
and they're going to target that.
I agreed, but I equally think that
Martinelli versus Trent.
Yeah. And it's not even just Martinelli versus Trent. It's the timing of Zinchenko's balls to Martinelli versus Trent. Yeah. Zinchenko, surprisingly enough, is one of the top tacklers versus dribblers in the league. But I just think it's going to be long because it's going to be a seesaw game with Alexander Zinchenko there. But I do think that if we are to win it, Martinelli will win it. For example, I
might bring Jesus in.
He could do dirt with the right ball at the right time, and you're running at Konate's trying to come out to cut, to close down.
If he gets into Garnacho's position,
that's what I'm saying
in that game.
That's what I'm saying. But I do just think that Liverpool mentality-wise, because of the poor performance last week, are going to come out and be a different team, and Klopp's going to get onto them, and the crowd, the ref is going to give a throw to Arsenal when he should have gone to Liverpool, and the crowd are going to be the injustice. And somebody's going to score a screamer, so I think we will draw, and I will take a draw. you never lose the title. As you said last, you never lose the title drawing at Anfield.
Yeah.
That's not where the title was won.
Yeah.
Won and lost.
Even last year, that's not where we lost.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
I actually came away from that game and think, I haven't seen Arsenal last year's performance. I haven't seen Arsenal play at Anfield, and I had this debate with Arman. I haven't seen Arsenal play like that at Anfield in so long.
Yeah.
Even when we won there, we didn't play like we played
that
last year.
Yeah.
And to come away with like you say, in any season, if we come away with a point,
Yeah.
and that's why I gave Man United so much praise.
Yeah.
If we go there and we get a point, I would take that.
But I also do think that the first 10 minutes are gonna be
intense.
In everything. Intense. They're gonna be everything.
The one thing that gives me maybe a little bit more hope, I would agree with you. I wouldn't predict a win, just because I know
something's gonna happen.
Even if Arsenal winning 2-1 or 3-2, whatever,
something's gonna happen.
Liverpool are gonna get a goal. Trent's gonna play an unbelievable ball in the box.
Nunes all of a sudden wants to be a hero,
and then Salah slaps it in. Whatever it is. But the one thing that does give me hope that Arsenal can really go there and compete is, for the first time in a long time, I think Arsenal go there, so almost similarly to last year, but Arsenal go there with a midfield
it's serious.
That I think is better than Liverpool's midfield.
Yeah, serious.
And obviously, people might clip that, as they say, and come back and say, like you said, and Szoboszlai drops a masterclass, Endo locks up Odegaard, and all this stuff might happen. But Declan Rice, Havertz, Odegaard, I don't know if Partey's going to be fit.
No,
he won't come in.
Even if he is fit.
As much as if I was a manager, I'd say, TP, you're starting.
No, even if he is fit.
Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard, I think up against Gravenberch got injured. I think it was a hamstring.
Is it
in the Man United game? So I think it might be Endo, Szoboszlai, and Curtis Jones.
Yeah, it will be Curtis.
Whoever it is, I think, and Declan Rice is a massive part of that. Massive
for me,
part.
I agree with your midfield assessment, but I think for me, it's just having Saliba and Gabriel at the back.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've ever gone to Anfield with as two good centre back defenders as we have right now.
I think you include Declan Rice in that,
and I agree with you including Declan Rice in that, and that's what gives me confidence of a draw. Of it's up to us and the attacking players to win the game, because I think we're not going to be out desired or out whatever as we have in previous years going to Anfield and Klopp beating his chest and swinging at the crowd. I don't think it's going to move Gabriel and Saliba or Declan Rice like that.
It won't. And I think Declan Rice could be massive. And this is another thing on Declan Rice, is that especially after this weekend, I've heard it before, but especially after this weekend where he dropped another great performance. I mean, got man of the match again, maybe. I've heard Liverpool fans. I heard Paul Scholes say it on TNT when he was recruitment couldn't have been easier this year. Get Harry Kane and Declan Rice. I've heard Liverpool fans say, why didn't we get Declan Rice? Man City fans say, if we had Declan Rice in this midfield. And they can all say that. But the fact of the matter is, Declan Rice wanted to play for Mikel Arteta.
I was going to say, I don't know why Man United fans are having this.
Yeah, the Paul Scholes thing. It couldn't have been easier. Harry Kane, Declan Rice.
No, but Man United fans are I can't believe we let Rice go to Arsenal. When was he?
You didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
you didn't have a choice.
When was he even?
Declan Rice wanted to play for Mikel Arteta. That was it. Yeah, he didn't want to go to Pep. He definitely didn't want to play for Ten Hag. He definitely didn't want to go to Anfield and play at Liverpool. Declan Rice only wanted to come to Arsenal, and that's because of Mikel Arteta. But to hear them say, we need Declan Rice, or why this down Declan Rice? He's the one Arsenal, even more than Saliba. A lot of clubs say, we would take Saliba. And
it's not even the same kind of love that Ozil and these guys would get.
No, not at all.
It's not even the same kind of love.
None of them. Aubameyang.
Yeah, we've had good players. Other teams. They could.
He's a good player, but I wouldn't take him.
Yeah.
It's Declan Rice, unanimous. Yeah. Every player.
That's the same play of the season. Shouts.
Chelsea fans,
non-Arsenal fans. I'm not even
And for those who don't know, if you're a fan of the podcast, you all know this guy, Declan Rice's biggest hater.
Whoa!
Pre-Arsenal. And when I get Matt on the podcast, and Matt will come on at some point, he will vouch for this as well.
This
pre-Arsenal, Declan Rice's biggest hater over here.
Yo, I plead the fifth. I'm coming on here to plead the fifth on these.
I still remember in the Cupfield where Cheers was like, we can put the agenda to bed.
That's what I'm saying. I put it to bed. I'm all on board. But no, what I was gonna say is, I I'm not gonna be against Declan Rice Player of the Year shout. I'm an Arsenal fan. I love Declan Rice.
Yeah.
But it's super interesting for me to see and hear other fans of other clubs saying, "Yeah, I think he's Player of the season."
Yeah,
and
already.
it's like I don't even know if I have him there yet. But damn, for you guys to
I mean, if Arsenal win the league,
no, for sure,
definitely,
for sure.
definitely
If Arsenal win the league,
season.
for sure. I think even if Arsenal push City second and get to a semi-final of a Champions League, like that would all be not all be, but a lot of that would be because Declan Rice has improved us tenfold. We don't have Thomas Partey, who last year was our favorite player. And we're not like down in the pits. If you told me this time,
and just to put on record, I still think Thomas Partey is a better holding midfielder.
If you told me a year ago, Thomas Partey 12 months from now is not going to be playing any football in this team, I'll be like, oh, so we finish 11th
League.
Yeah,
But fighting Europa League.
Yeah, are we
Jorginho and El Neni
down in the dubs? Has ESR somehow been
converted to a 6?
Yeah. But so and that beyond the price tag and beyond everything is merit to Declan Rice, because I had Partey on a pedestal.
I mean, I still think Partey.
I still think I've not thrown him to the wolves the way other fans have. He's done. There's no chance. Let's move on. Let's just sell him in January. I'm not on that.
I need to see Partey. I need to see that.
Come March time when we have a big game, I want a Rice Partey double pivot. I love Havertz, but bench.
Yeah,
love
or maybe Odegaard bench.
No.
We'll see.
We'll see. I would love nothing more than a 20-minute Havertz cameo goal.
Yeah.
Go more offensive, start going long a little bit, winning second headers.
Hey, look, if we go to the Etihad with Rice, Partey, Havertz, Arteta, you won't hear any complaints from me. But and lastly, score predictions. You said 1-1, 2-2.
Yeah, it's going to be a draw. I think we might miss a pen for some reason. I don't know why I have that.
I agree with you. Obviously, I never want to predict Arsenal to lose, but I do think a Liverpool win is more likely than an Arsenal win. If I'm being 100% real, just because it's at Anfield,
they're going to come out swinging after last week.
Yeah, exactly. I don't necessarily think Liverpool are a better team than Arsenal, but
I also don't think the title is lost if we lose to Liverpool.
No, 100% it's not. 100% it's not. I mean, like you say, a draw at Anfield would be a great result, but even to lose there, I know Liverpool would go top, but it's almost just a fixture that I'm like, well, that one's out of the way.
Yeah.
And lastly, but before we do actually move on to MVP and Rookie of the Week, next Monday is actually Christmas Day. And the following Monday is
Boxing Day football.
New Year's Day. So we don't know if we're going to have a podcast come out until the new year. Obviously, just because Monday, we're not going to be recording on Christmas Day.
Dedicated. But
everyone's going to be with their families and whatever. And then obviously New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I think even on New Year's Day, it's Liverpool Newcastle on a Monday night. So there might not be a podcast for 2 weeks after this. But if Arsenal win at Anfield,
there'll be a podcast.
I'm sure me and Michael will find a way. Christmas Eve, maybe.
I'm here.
Because there's only one game on Sunday. If we don't win, we draw or we lose, me and Michael
we'll see next year.
We'll see you in 2024. But if we win at Anfield, me and Michael will try and get some content out. Because that will be necessary.
It's got to feed the people.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, MVPs and Rookies of the Week. For me, I got Leon Edwards. MVP has to be retained the champ. And I'm going to give one to Eric Ten Hag. Because when your back's against the wall, when people are calling for you to be sacked, you're going into the Lions then, the one place where like you've lost 7-0 there before. No one's giving you a chance. And to go there and come out, like you say, clean sheet, 0-0, get the point, you move on. I think Eric Ten Hag deserves that this week.
No, I agree with you. I agree with Leon. So on Eric. I think he had a good, but I think he didn't even coach in 0-0. I think he just like saw who was fit, put the team sheet out, kind of prayed for the best, and it all worked out. But he does deserve some praise for that, for sure. Other MVPs or other people I'd want to shout out this week. Pickford, man, 4 clean sheets in a row.
Yeah,
Sean Dyche, doing the things. I think Rookie of the Week, I would go any of the keepers between Matt Turner and Foderingham.
Yeah. Matt Turner, definitely.
Enough said on that.
I'm going to give one to Colby.
Colby's got to get one.
I think you can say whatever you want to say in the press conference. Like, go and do that, but you need to back it up in the fight. And Colby just didn't come out. He didn't really show anything. Didn't try and take Leon down. Didn't like be the aggressor. And kept me up till 6 a.m. for no reason.
Nothing.
And the other one, Johnny Otto at Wolves, who's been left out of the first team, banished for elbowing a youth player and spitting at a coach.
I saw the spitting at the coach. I didn't know he elbowed at a youth player.
He elbowed an under-18s player, bang in the face, and then spat at a coach. So, Johnny, you are a rookie. How are you doing that? You used to be a Premier League, used to be in my FPL team, guaranteed wingback under Nuno. Yeah, he used to enjoy it. But yeah, you're holding that, man.
Yeah, no, that's poor. That's poor. And I know he's probably, his contract has been ripped up in front of him. Yeah, it's done.
But yeah, any more rookies of the week?
I'll
give McTominay an MVP as well. Captained his team at Anfield and they got a point, so shout out to him.
No, I think the rookie of the week may be just Liverpool fans, because there was
Liverpool Football Club.
There was gassing up is it going to be 8, 10?
Yeah,
you know, and then to draw 0-0, it's even worse than like if Man United had won the game, because like. But yeah, just poor. Coming without hubris and overconfidence and like laughing at United fans. I love to laugh at them, but you got to back it up. You got to back your chat.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. And yeah, so if we don't see you, everyone that's watching, everyone that's been watching, enjoy your Christmas.
Yeah.
Enjoy your time with your family.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah, we'll see you in the new year. Back with more episodes, more content, and for the home stretch of the season.
We're going big in 24.
But yeah, just know, if Arsenal win at Anfield, me and Michael will be here for some content, because that's something we can't miss. That is something we can't miss.
It comes once every 20 years, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate all the support, and yeah, we'll see you in the new year.
All right, one love.